Isn't it strange? We are absolutely drowning in information, yet so many of us feel like we're starving for real wisdom. You've got the entire world in your pocket, but have you ever felt more disconnected from yourself? Let's get into why that is, and more importantly, what we can do about it. Let me ask you something. Do you ever just stop and get this feeling that your ability to think deeply is kind of slipping away? You're not alone. A student once asked his teacher this exact same thing. It's a feeling so many of us have in a world that is constantly screaming for our attention. And this right here gets to the absolute heart of the problem. See, the solution isn't to work harder or to cram more information into your brain. It's actually the total opposite. It's about finding stillness, learning to do a little less so you can go a lot deeper. So, where is all this overwhelming noise really coming from? Well, the first thing we have to get is that the most draining, the most exhausting chaos, it's not happening around you, it's happening inside you. Yeah, this slide breaks it down perfectly. We spend so much energy trying to escape the external noise, the crowds, the 24/7 news cycle, that endless addictive social media feed. But even when you're in a perfectly quiet room, it's the internal voices, the fear, the comparison game, the self-doubt that are truly, completely exhausting us. So really, the thing that's making you so tired isn't the traffic outside your window. It's the traffic inside your own head. It's that relentless mental chatter that just won't stop. You can't possibly find calm in a noisy world if your own mind is in a constant state of turmoil. And this is why stillness isn't some passive thing you do. No, it's an active choice. It's the practice of just noticing a thought or a feeling pop up and then choosing not to get immediately swept away by it. It's all about resisting that knee-jerk urge to react to every single thing your mind throws at you. I love this analogy. Think of your mind like a glass of water with a bunch of dirt and sand stirred into it. The more you react and judge and worry, you're just stirring and stirring, making it impossible to see through. But what happens when you just stop stirring, when you let it be? All that sediment, all that gunk, it just settles to the bottom. And for the first time, you can see with total clarity. Okay, so we get the problem, right? The real noise is inside us. Now, for the good part, what do we actually do about it? Let's dive into a practical, no-nonsense toolkit you can start using today to reclaim your mind. We're going to focus on 3 core practices. Now, each one of these is pretty simple on its own, but when you combine them, they create this incredibly powerful system for cultivating a mind that's way quieter and way more focused. First up, disconnect to reconnect. And seriously, just think about this for a second. We religiously plug in our phones every single day. But when was the last time you truly unplugged to recharge yourself? There's this great story about a burnt-out entrepreneur who took a week off. No Wi-Fi, no emails, nothing. And he said for the first time in years, he actually felt present. What could that feel like for you? And let's be really clear here. This is not about running away from your life. The whole point of disconnecting is to take a strategic pause so you can reconnect with yourself. It's all about returning to your life stronger, wiser, and with way more focus than before. All right, tool number 2, start the day in silence. I mean, think about how most of us wake up. The alarm goes off, and the very first thing we grab is the phone. And boom, the world's chaos, the emails, the news, the notifications just floods our brain before we're even fully awake. We let everybody else into our heads before we've even had a chance to say good morning to ourselves. And the fix for this is so simple. Just 3 minutes. That's it, 3 minutes of silence each morning to do nothing but just sit and breathe. It's like cleaning your car's windshield before you start a long drive. It is probably the most profitable 3-minute investment you can make for the clarity of your entire day. And finally, step 3, master your tech. Look, technology was built to be our tool, to serve us. But for so many of us, the roles have completely reversed, haven't they? Mastering your tech is all about flipping that script. It means using it with purpose, on your terms, not letting it dictate your mood, your focus, or even how well you sleep. And if you need a little motivation, check out this number, 23. That's the average number of minutes it takes your brain to get back into a state of deep focus after just one little digital interruption. 23 minutes. Now think about how many of those quick checks you do in a day. It adds up to hours, literally hours of lost time and clarity every single day. It's wild. So now, let's get to the real payoff of all this. Because practicing stillness isn't just about feeling a little less stressed. It's about unlocking a deeper, more powerful form of wisdom and guidance that is already inside you, just waiting. Okay, picture it. When your mind is a chaotic storm of constant thoughts, anxieties, and reactions, you know that feeling, it's impossible to know which way to go. You feel lost because every single thought, every image is just distorted by all that turbulence. But what happens when you allow that storm to pass? When the water becomes as calm and as clear as a still lake? That's when your intuition speaks. And look, intuition isn't some mystical, magical force. It's simply the natural result of your own experiences and awareness. But you can only hear it when your mind is finally quiet enough to listen. This brings us to our final and maybe our most powerful principle. We're going to elevate stillness from just a personal practice to a source of immense influence and true strength in this crazy world. Think about a heated meeting you've been in, where everyone is trying to shout over each other. Who holds the real power in that room? It's almost always the person who sits back, who observes, and who waits for the noise to die down before they speak. Their silence becomes their strength. Because true strength isn't about shouting louder or forcing things to go your way. It's about mastering your own reactions. When you can control yourself, you gain an incredible amount of influence over the situation, and you never even have to raise your voice. And so that leaves us with one final question. In a world that only seems to be getting louder, what are you going to choose? Will you let yourself be swept away by the storm, or will you be the one who stands firm, anchored in the quiet, and creates the peace? The choice is yours.